VLANs, Virtual Local Area Network. Let's see what this presentation says about VLAN. VLAN segmentation. The purpose of VLAN in switching network. Explain how the switch forwards the frame based on the VLAN configuration in multi-switch environment. VLAN implementation. Configuring switch port to be assigned to a VLAN based on requirement. Configure trunk port on the LAN switch. Troubleshoot VLAN trunk. Configuration and switching. Inter-VLAN routing using routers. Two options of inter-VLAN routing. One is the legacy router on a stick. The other one is multi-layer switch. So all these things we are going to discuss. VLAN segmentation. What do you understand from this picture on the right? See the picture there. We got 3 floors and we have subnetted network for 3 departments. When you see the subnet, what do you understand? The departments are having their own layer 3 broadcast domain. Their own layer 3 broadcast domain. Isn't it? They have their own first address, last address. For example, HR addresses starts with 2.1 till 2.254 last address. 2.255 is the broadcast. This /24. So network is 10.0.2. Likewise here you got 10.3, 0.3, 10.0.4. So this is layer 3 separation. Layer 3 separation alone is not enough to provide separation. Even in layer 2 level, there is need for separation. That's why we put each department in different VLAN. You see the switch, which is in first floor. It has got 3 VLANs. VLAN 2, VLAN 3, VLAN 4. VLAN 2 is for IT, 3 is for HR, 4 is for sales. But they are connected to single switch. Even though they are connected to single switch, it is as equal as connecting to 3 separate physical switch. How? Because it provides the LAN segmentation. VLAN can create LAN segment. In another word, VLAN creates switch. VLAN creates virtual switch inside this physical switch. As a result, this has got 3 switches inside VLAN 2, VLAN 3, and VLAN 4. Likewise, from each floor, you have HR, IT, and sales. HR, IT, and sales. In each floor, we have this 3. In each floor, we have this 3 departments. Now, if in case IT wants to talk to HR, the traffic goes to switch, goes to the router. When it comes, it will come as layer VLAN 2. Router 2 will route the packet and put it into layer 3, VLAN 3, and traffic comes and delivers here. So what I'm trying to show here is, even though these two are connected to the same switch, they will not be able to communicate like this. They will not be able to communicate using that switch. The traffic should come out, go to the gateway. Only the router can interconnect between two different VLAN. Only a router can communicate. Only a router can help communicate traffic between two different VLAN. Same way, if someone is trying to talk from first floor to the third floor, if someone is talking within the same department but different floor, their traffic need not to go to router. It can go directly like this. They are switched, not routed. But whenever this PC want to talk to another VLAN, then it has to go to the router, get out from VLAN 2, get into VLAN 3. Who can do that? Only a router can do that. And then go in as a layer 3, VLAN 3 or VLAN 4 and talk to VLAN 4. We call it as inter-VLAN routing. So what is VLAN? VLANs are mutually isolated and packets can only pass between VLANs via router. But this is not the definition of VLAN. VLAN is creating multiple partitions in one physical switch. VLAN is a logical partition of layer 2 network. VLAN is a logical switch. The partition of layer 2 network takes place inside the layer 2 device, which is called switch. Every VLAN is one separate broadcast domain. Did you understand this point, broadcast domain? If any broadcast is sent, for example, in first floor, someone is sending broadcast. It, it will go to all the members of same VLAN. This rectangle box is a broadcast domain. Even though they are in different switches, logically they form one switch. This is another switch. This is another switch. This is another switch. They form three separate broadcast domains. The broadcast that is sent here will not go here, but it will go here. Why? Because you got same VLANs and you got this link as a trunk link. What is trunk link? The link that can carry multiple VLAN traffic. Multiple VLAN traffics are carried over the trunk link. Multiple VLANs. Now, to configure trunk link, you can go to any interface. There is no specific dedicated interface for trunk. There is no specific trunk link can be from any port. That's what I mean. Any port can be configured as a trunk. If it is a member of, if a port is a member of a particular VLAN, that needs to be configured as access. Those things are coming later. What is the benefits of What are the benefits of having VLANs? One, improve security. How? Can you explain? Can guest talk to student? No, because they are in different VLAN. Student is in VLAN 20, guest is in VLAN 30. If they want to talk, they have to go to router. In router, if the policy allows, for example, if they write an access list denying traffic coming from this subnet and this subnet, if they deny, then they cannot talk even through router. So it improves security. It reduces cost. How? If I need 10 VLANs in each floor, sorry, if I have 10 department in each floor, I no need to buy 10 VLAN, 10 switches. I no need to buy 10 switches. I need to simply create VLANs in one switch. That way cost is reduced. If you don't have VLANs, in this scenario, if you don't have VLAN, what you would have done? To isolate the traffic, you would have kept separate switch for these guys, separate switch for these guys in each floor. So that would have become 9 switches totally. You don't need 9 switch here. You see, you got only 3 switch. Better performance. See, if all the ports are in single broadcast domain, the performance will be very bad because every broadcast will disturb everyone in the switch. Because you have separated, segmented, the broadcast that is sent in HR will not affect the other departments. So other departments can have better performance. Smaller broadcast domain. Same answer. If all ports are in single VLAN, large broadcast domain. When you create multiple VLANs and put less number of ports to each VLAN, then the broadcast domain gets reduced. For example, by default, the 48 port switch will be allocated to one VLAN called default. So it's a large broadcast domain, 48 devices in one broadcast domain. When I create VLAN 10 and give first 10 interface, VLAN 20 another 10 interface, VLAN 30 another 10 interface, VLAN 40 another 10 interface. Now the broadcast domain has been reduced to 10, before it was 48. So before creating VLANs, it was 48 ports in one broadcast domain. It was large. Large broadcast domain, more problem, because whenever there is a change, it will impact everyone. That will impact the performance. Now you have improved the performance. Next, IT efficiency, meaning you have separate departments with separate layer 3 and layer 2. Layer 3 is because of subnetting, layer 2 is because of VLAN. Next, management efficiency. Again, because they are all separated, easy to manage. Yeah. So you can put all the applications which are similar in one VLAN. The other kind of applications in another VLAN. Likewise. No? These are the benefits of VLAN. Don't forget. They may ask you in the interview. What is VLAN? VLAN is logical segmentation. VLAN is creating virtual switches inside physical switch. VLAN is breaking down the large broadcast domain into simple, small broadcast domain. Benefits: improve security, reduces cost, better platform, better performance, IT efficiency, management efficiency, etc. Now, I want you to go through this. Um, so this default VLAN is always VLAN number 1. By default, this VLAN will be always there. And you cannot delete this. You cannot even rename this. All interfaces are member of that one particular VLAN called 1. That is why it is called default VLAN. Now, this is nothing but a normal VLAN. Data VLAN is nothing but VLAN. VLAN that you create. They named it as data VLAN. Don't think that this is some special VLAN called data VLAN. Every VLAN is a data VLAN. Now, what is native VLAN? Native VLAN and default VLAN, they are not same. Hello? Native VLAN and default VLAN are not same. So some people, what they do is they imagine themselves, default, native, both are same. No, they are not same. Untagged traffic, if you want to accept on the trunk port, you need native VLAN. I repeat, whenever you have trunk, here trunk is configured, here trunk is configured. But for some reason, you have a hub in the middle. What is this? Hub. It's not a switch. Hub you cannot configure trunk. Trunk is in this end and this end. This is layer 2 device, this is layer 2 device. This is layer 1. So according to the switch, this device doesn't exist. Why? Because it's layer 1. Wire is also layer 1. Wire is also layer 1. According to the switch, a wire is connected. Switch do not know that there is a hub in the middle. Now, in the hub, you have a computer. And this computer is sending traffic. Which VLAN? The traffic will be a member? No VLAN. The traffic will not be a member of any VLAN. Why? Because hub cannot have VLANs. So if a packet is going from this PC to the switch, the trunk port will ask, hey, what is the VLAN number you're coming from? The trunk port will see the tag. But will there be any tag? Will there be any tag? Tell me. Traffic is coming from a device which is connected to a hub. Will there be any tag? Any VLAN ID? No. The no சொல்றது எவ்வளவு நேரம் பண்றீங்க நீங்க ரெண்டு பேருமே. There won't be any tag. Fine. But I want the packet to come in. Trunk port will not allow the traffic to come in if there is no tag. I want this computer A to talk to a computer here called B in VLAN, let's say 100. VLAN number 100. Then what you need to do? You need to configure on the trunk port native VLAN 100. What does that mean? Any untagged traffic, you send it inside VLAN 100. Don't send it to VLAN 10. Don't send it to VLAN 20. What does this mean? Native VLAN 100 means what? Accept all the untagged traffic into VLAN 100. See, this carries the VLAN this is the VLAN that carries all untagged traffic. Did you understand what is native VLAN? பொதுவா எல்லா டிராஃபிக் ஏதாவது ஒரு VLAN நம்பரை வச்சுக்கிட்டு தான் வரும். சுவிட்ச் கிட்ட இன்னொரு சுவிட்ச்ல இருந்து வர பாக்கெட் இந்த சுவிட்சுக்கு வரும்பொழுது VLAN நம்பரோட மார்க் பண்ணி தான் அனுப்பும். அது இது மார்க் பண்ண பாக்கெட்டா பார்த்து எந்த VLAN பார்த்து அந்தந்த VLAN காமிச்சு வைக்கும். ஆனா இந்த ஹப்ல இருந்து வர டிவைஸ்க்கு என்ன மார்க்கிங் கொடுக்கும்? ஒரு மார்க்கிங்கும் ஹப்னால கொடுக்க முடியாது. ஹப்ல இருந்து வர டிராஃபிக் ஒரு மார்க்கிங்கும் எந்த VLAN ஐடியும் மார்க் பண்ண முடியாது ஹப்னால. அப்படிப்பட்ட பேக்கெட்ஸ் உங்களுக்கு ஏதாவது ஒரு VLANக்குள்ள அனுப்பணும்னு தோணுச்சுன்னா அந்த VLAN நம்பரை நேட்டிவ் VLAN-ஆ ட்ரங்க் போர்ட் கிட்ட சொல்லணும். எங்க கன்ஃபிகர் பண்ணுவீங்க? Where will you configure this native VLAN? Under the trunk port. You should tell the trunk port if you will find any untagged traffic, send those traffic to VLAN 100. By default, VLAN 1 will be there as a native VLAN. Why? Because there is no other VLAN. The default VLAN is the only VLAN by default there. VLAN 10 தான் native VLAN default வைக்க முடியுமா? அதனால இல்லாத ஒரு VLAN? No. It cannot assign VLAN 10 as a native VLAN by default because there is no VLAN 10 by default. There is only one VLAN called number 1. That same VLAN is now by default seen in the native VLAN, seen as a native VLAN. But you can go change it. Very important thing is, if you are changing on one end, you have to change it on the other end also. If you say native VLAN 100 this side, you must also say here native VLAN 100. If you don't say, this both the switches will throw error saying native VLAN mismatch. Native VLAN mismatch. How often? Every 60 seconds. Every minute, the native VLAN mismatch error will be sent continuously. Okay. So next is management VLAN. Any VLAN you can dedicate for management. That particular VLAN member only can do telnet or SSH. Any VLAN 40 can be made as management. It's up to you. So there is no separate dedicated VLAN number called management because there is only one VLAN called default 1 that is used as a management by default. But you can go change it. So if you see in every device on Cisco switches, you will have VLAN 1 interface that is used as a management. But you can create any other VLAN also as a management VLAN. So if a computer wants to telnet to another router or switch, that computer also need to be a member of same VLAN. For example, if all the switches management VLAN is 1000, then your computer that you use to telnet is also member of VLAN 1000. Should also be a member of VLAN 1000. Otherwise, you cannot telnet or SSH. Voice VLAN. Voice VLAN is only for the voice traffic. So when a voice traffic comes, it will place the traffic into voice VLAN. Say for example, this F0/18 is only one port, but it is going to carry the data traffic and voice traffic, same wire. One single wire only you see. But whenever this guy is writing a letter, Anbulla, Tambi, Anna Elizavadu, he is sending one letter. Parallelly, someone is also taking his phone and talking. இந்த பையனுக்கு வேற வேலை இல்லை எப்ப பார்த்தாலும் தம்பிக்கு லெட்டர் எழுதினுக்கிறான். This fellow is talking in the phone. So now the phone is also generating traffic. Computer is also generating traffic. So whatever the data traffic comes, you want to put it in VLAN 150. So you simply configure switch port access VLAN 150. And then you also say switch port VLAN voice 20, so that the switch can identify the voice traffic and put it in VLAN 20. Single port having two VLANs, one for voice is 150, and for the student traffic, this is student computer name 20. For data 20, you no need trunk for this. We learned early, trunk is the port that can carry multiple VLAN traffic. But this is exceptional. This is voice VLAN. Voice VLAN. Because the voice need to be given high priority. Why? Voice cannot be delayed. It should be sent with care. It has to be sent in such a way that the delay will not be more than 150 milliseconds. It should be less than 150 milliseconds. That is why you need to put it in different VLAN and provide high priority for that VLAN. Yeah. So you can make use of the access port itself. You don't need to configure a trunk port. You can go to access port and say the data traffic is 20, voice traffic is 150. It is possible to configure this. You can configure. Now you see in this diagram, these computers are in VLAN 20. Sorry. These computers are in VLAN 20. These are in VLAN 10. And these are in VLAN 30. Who hears the broadcast? When this guy is sending broadcast, all this will hear. It won't go here. It won't go anywhere. It will be within that VLAN. What is a trunk port? As I said earlier, trunk port is the one which carries multiple VLAN traffic. For example, here, we got three VLAN, VLAN 10, VLAN 20, VLAN 30. And we want to use this single link to carry all VLANs so that whenever 10 wants to talk to another 10, it can go like this. If 20 wants, that can also use the same trunk link and talk here. When 30 wants, it will use the same link and talk to here. So if you see, there is one common link between these two switch that can carry all VLAN. Whereas this is an access port. It's a member of VLAN 10 only. But this one is a member of all VLANs. That's trunk port. You need to simply configure switch port mode trunk. Yeah, switch port mode trunk. And the .1q protocol will tag the VLAN. Say, for example, if this PC is still sending the traffic, while sending it out, it will mark VLAN 10. Who marks it? .1q protocol. There is also another protocol called ISL, Inter-Switch Link. Older one, it's a Cisco's tagging protocol, which is not popular. We'll talk about these differences later. But what I'm trying to say here is, whenever you got multiple switches, in between the switches, If you want to carry multiple VLANs, instead of dedicating separate link for each VLAN, you can use single link to carry multiple VLAN. We call it as trunk put, and then the link becomes trunk link. All right. So we'll continue this in our